How much of sex do you really need? A question whose answer one must find by himself. Humans and animals have many things in common. One of them is sex. And the question that comes to mind is exactly how much sex humans should have, how much one should indulge in the act of sex. And this question brings a very interesting story to our rescue. It is a virtual story, but it is significant in many ways. During the evolution of this world, it is said, God decided to give out sex life to each animal. God turned to the human and said, I am giving you 10 years of a good sex life. The man makes a face. Is that all? He asks. I have only that much to go around, fellow. I cannot give you more than that, says God. He then turns to the monkey and says, I am giving you 20 years of a good sex life. The monkey says, Oh, I don't really that much. 10 years would be more than enough for me. The man standing nearby overhears this and says excitedly, I will take it. I will take those extra 10 years. All right, says God, you got it. He then turns to the lion. I am going to give you 20 years of good sex life. The lion replies, You know, God, I really think I would be happier with just 10 more years. The man starts hopping up and down. I will take them. I will take the other 10 years. You can have them, says God to the man. He turns to the donkey and says, Now I am going to give you 20 years of good sex life. Is that all right with you? The donkey says, To tell you the truth, I would also be satisfied with just 10. God gives the man the other 10 years too. This story explains why a man has 10 years of a good sex life, 10 years of monkeying around, 10 years of lying about it, and then 10 years of making an ass out of himself. Marriages break, relationships break when lust enters your life. And when lust is the reason for your breakup, no matter where you go, the past is going to repeat mindlessly unless you become mindful. Life repeats itself mindlessly unless you become mindful. It will go on repeating like a wheel. When you are not satisfied with anything and you go on asking for more and you go on making your life more of a confusion. Do more is the negative connotation of a desire that thrives in total ignorance. Astrology has a perfect name for this do more phenomena, and that is called Rahu, the North Node. Today, the world is under the spell of Rahu, which is Kali Yuga, age of demons. People want more. Rahu is a perfect representation of this want more tendency of the present world. And that is why people are not satisfied with what they have, and they are running, chasing to satisfy their unending desires. So much so that the only place they finally would rest is in the graveyard. That too is out of compulsion, else they would not have stopped. Diogenes was an enlightened seer whom Alexander the Great wanted to meet. He had heard many great things about this enlightened man, that he is some kind of a Messiah, a man of miracle. So one day, Alexander went to meet Diogenes. And Diogenes was rejoicing in the river water. He was having a good, relaxing bath. Alexander came near the river shore and said, "Sir, I have been thinking of you. I have been waiting to meet you. I have heard many of your miracles. I would love to offer you anything that you would wish for. My heart is waiting to hear. Just ask whatever you want." And Diogenes said, "Just step back from where you are standing. You have blocked the sun rays that were so lovingly showering on me." Alexander was taken aback. Who would dare to speak to an emperor in this manner? Only someone who is totally mad or someone who is totally wise. And this man was certainly not mad. The whole kingdom worshipped him and admired his great powers. Emperor Alexander the Great stepped backward and then he said, "If God ever asked me what I would want to be in my next life, I would ask him to make me Diogenes." And Diogenes laughed and said, "How stupid are you? Why would you want to wait for so long? Come, join me, leave everything behind and just dive in the river. Why would you want to wait for so long? Just come and relax. Rejoice in nature. Find yourself. Feel the bliss within." Alexander smiled and said, "I still want to capture the whole world. I still want to do so many things. I still want to capture many kingdoms. I want to rule the world. Once I capture all of this world, then I will come and join you. And I will be back soon." And Alexander went away, but was never able to come back. Alexander died. You try to become Alexander and you will never be satisfied. You want more and more and more, and then there is no way to come out of it. In a way, Alexander is a perfect representation of over-ambitious and over-indulging nature. Such a mind is never satisfied. Such a mind is restless. For such a mind, there is no coming to truth. For such a person, the lust for power and money is larger than life. For such a man, lust is beyond life. When lust overshadows life, you will never be able to come back. You will be totally lost. Diogenes is then beyond your reach. The master is then beyond your reach. Alexander was not able to come back. He wanted to join Diogenes. He wanted to be like Diogenes, but his desires would not allow him. His lust for power would not let him. Diogenes in this story symbolizes God consciousness. Consciousness wants you to sit back, do some soul searching, try to realize yourself, but your mind is not willing to. Your mind is running behind power, status, money, and just like Alexander, you are making a false attempt to assure God that once you earn all of this, you will return. And God is laughing because this never happens. When Alexander said, I will come back when I conquer the world, Diogenes was also laughing. He had laughed and said, remember, nobody can come back unless one is aware. And if you are aware at this moment, the journey stops. If you are not aware, you will never come back. And Alexander never could come back. The more you would indulge in satisfying your desires, the more the desires would tend to grow. Desires never end unless the spirit is willing. The body continues to surrender to desires. Somewhere you have to learn to stop. Some point you have to sit back and join Diogenes, because Diogenes is enjoying life in the blissful presence of God. He is asking you to join. It is up to you if you want to take a break and do some soul searching, or you are happy to slog day and night in the mad race for money and power. The choice is yours. What you choose is what you become. Diogenes or Alexander, consciousness or ignorance, for the world is divided into these two polarities. And life always gives you an opportunity to choose. You have to decide. At every stage, life gives you an opportunity to decide. For the future of your journey is based on the choice that you make. You are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices. Life becomes a problem when lust overshadows life, and life becomes a garden of bliss when life rises above lust. The key to your promising future is very much in your hands. You are the sculptor of your life. You have no one to blame but your own decisions. Your unhappiness ultimately arises not from the circumstances of your life, but from the conditioning of your mind. Alexander the Great was also not able to resist his temptations. Even though he was an emperor, he was still a slave of his desires. Desires have engulfed everyone. We all are victims of our own desires. But far, somewhere, enlightened Diogenes is enjoying his bath in the river. He is happily enjoying the chirping of the birds, the blossoming of the flowers, the dance of the trees. He has no desires. There is no rush. He is living in the moment. He truly is a free man. For true freedom is freedom from desires. And he is inviting Alexander, who is enslaved by his desires. But Alexander is not willing. His desire would not let him. And that is the greatest irony of this human life. If you are taking a break, the world is quick to undermine you, because the world is Alexander, and they too want to take a break like you. They too want to become a Diogenes, but only after they have satisfied all their desires. And the truth is, desires never end. They continue to grow When the glass becomes full, it tends to grow. The scale of your freedom is based on the scale of your awareness. All religious scriptures, all arts of yoga, all ways of meditation are simply to awaken you, to bring awareness to you. Magic or any negativity won't harm you if you live in awareness. Awareness helps you to stay positive. You become a victim of negative energies when you tend to move away from awareness, from consciousness. The whole purpose of this human life is to raise the level of your consciousness. Cravings and desires will never end unless you start living with awareness. The first step towards living a blissful life is to awaken. Craving and desire are the cause of all unhappiness. Everything sooner or later must change. So do not become attached to anything. Instead, devote yourself to God. Meditate on God's name. Meditate.